Welcome to Scott Dikkers Around. I'm Scott Dikkers, and this week on the show I'm doing something a little different. I figure it's my show, I can do whatever the hell I want. And I wanted to take a trip back into yesteryear, back to the golden age of radio drama. No, I'm not going to play an old show like Suspense or Gunsmoke or X-1, some of my favorites. I'm going to play a new show that I produced with my friends Peter Hilleren and Keith Webster, because we love radio drama, and it's a dead art. Nobody really knows how to do it anymore, and we like to try to recreate the golden age of radio drama with new shows. And we've produced a ton of shows. This is one of my favorites. We're going to listen to John Smith Private Eye. This is a series that's in the detective noir genre, very popular in the 1940s and 50s in film, radio, and TV. But this detective, John Smith, is special because he is absolutely the stupidest private detective in the entire history of the genre. Now, there have been other stupid detective comedy shows. The Pink Panther immediately leaps to mind. Bill Murray did a movie a while back called The Man Who Knew Too Little. Get Smart, I guess, was partly like this, but he was a secret agent, not a private detective. But what makes John Smith special, and one of the reasons I was never a big fan of those particular private detective shows, was that the detectives would always miraculously solve the case. Not so with John Smith. He will completely bungle it up, and he will not even understand what's taken place. He is that stupid. So this is a fun show for me, and I'm excited to share it with you. This week, we're going to listen to part 1 of Petty Thieves, an episode of the John Smith Private Eye series. Sit back and enjoy it with me, won't you? If you're listening to this show in audio, you can put on your headphones, sit by the fire, and pretend it's 1948 and listen to this radio drama and paint a word picture. That's how we used to listen to radio dramas. If you're watching on video, it's a still image, and I put a little fancy wave image there so there's something shiny and moving so you won't get bored. I'll come back after part 1 of Petty Thieves, an episode of the John Smith Private Eye series.
The name's Smith. John Smith. I'm a private eye. In times like these, when business is slow, I look through my files of past cases, and memories fill my mind. Memories of past cases. I take out a file randomly and read it, reliving the glorious days of employment. It was a rainy morning in the city. I hadn't had a case for weeks. My cupboards were as bare as the cast of a 10-cent porno flick. My cat hadn't had any cat food in his dish for days. The night before, I set a mousetrap in my office for him, but that morning it got a mouse trapped in it, and I beat my cat to it. I was desperate for work. Watson, you don't look well. I think I'm going to have to take you to a veterinarian. The trouble is, how to find one. This city is huge, and the chances of me just going out there and finding a veterinarian are slim. It'll be a challenge. I'll have to rely fully on my professional investigative skills. You wait here, Watson. Now, where's my umbrella?
Mugsy's Veterinary Clinic, Rocco speaking. Just a second. Hey, boss! Boss! Telephone, boss!
I'm coming. You don't have to howl, you big o.
Sorry, boss.
This is Muggsy. 6 of them.
6?
All right, when do you want them?
6 what?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Rocco, write that down.
Okay.
6 cats by tomorrow we need.
Oh, okay. 6
Okay, I'll do the best I can.
cats
Okay,
by
tomorrow.
Say, boss, I got some bad news.
What is it, Deke?
We only got 5 cats.
5 cats? Oh, no!
Okay, so how about this?
Okay.
We put a sign in the front window, see?
Yeah?
All cat checkups, half price.
Great idea,
Boss!
boss.
Some idea, boss!
Yeah, come on, just make the sign. Let's go.
What do we make the sign with, boss?
Oop, somebody's here. Get in the back room, you two. Get to work on that
Not
sign.
the back room, boss. We're always in the
we
back
never get to talk
room.
to
Get in the
you.
back room, you 2 idiots, and get to work on that sign.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am. What can I do for you?
I've come to pick up my cat, Trixie.
Your cat. You had a cat here?
Yes, Trixie.
Oh, well, gee, I don't know how to say this, ma'am, but I'm afraid your cat didn't make it.
Oh,
I'm afraid it's true, ma'am.
no, not Trixie, no.
Well, these things happen, ma'am.
But Trixie was only here to have her nails clipped.
We found out, ma'am, early yesterday morning that Trixie got a small dose of hemophilia from a rabbit that was in the cage next to hers.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm really sorry.
What was that all about? Who was crying?
Oh, what's the matter, boss?
It wasn't me, you idiot. That lady wanted her cat back.
No,
I hope you didn't tell her she could have it back, boss. No way. No way she can have it back.
I know. Now shut up and get back there and finish that sign.
Come on.
We gotta get an extra cat today so we can get them all over to Lefty's pet shop by tomorrow.
Okay, that's 1 dozen glazed and 1 dozen chocolate covered. Will that be all, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be 80 cents. Thank you. Have a nice day. Can I help you, sir?
Yes, I'm a private eye. I'm looking for a veterinary clinic. Do you know if there's one around here?
Private eye, huh? Well, no, I don't think there's a clinic around here, at least not on this block.
Okay, thank you anyway. I'll ask next door.
Next door? Say, pal, why don't you just look in the phone book instead of wandering around?
I don't want to call them. I need to go there in person, you see.
Well, phone books have addresses in them, too.
Huh. Well, I guess even those endowed with superhuman induction skills are capable of learning something new. So, what do you think of the sign, boss?
You dingbat. Cat is spelled with a C.
It was Rocco's fault, boss. He was the one who thought it was spelled with a Q. I can change it right now. I'll just crush that.
Look, it doesn't matter anyway. A fella called and said he was bringing his cat in today. And that's all we need is one more cat. What is that joker doing? This is a veterinary clinic, pal. It's like any other store. You don't have to knock. You just walk in.
Thank you. I've been standing in the rain for quite some time. In fact, my umbrella is almost full. Say, did I hear you say this is a veterinary clinic?
That's right.
Maybe you're the one I talked to on the phone earlier.
Oh, you're the gentleman with the cat.
Yes.
Well, where's your cat?
Oh, I must have forgotten him. Why don't I just bring him in later today?
Okay, but today. Make it today if you can, all right?
Certainly. Is that an error in your sign? Isn't cat spelled with a Q?
No, Mac, I don't think so. Look, you just come in with that cat of yours today, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you then.
Having walked to the veterinary clinic, I was forced to take a taxi back to my office. Since I didn't have any money, I had to offer the driver my shoes as payment. He insisted that the value of my shoes wasn't enough to get me as far as I wanted to go. I asked him if I could throw in my socks as well, thinking that that would be sufficient to cover the full distance. And even though I gave him my socks and my shoes, he must not have agreed, since he eventually dropped me off only a few blocks away from the veterinarian. From there, I marched toward my office through the downpour with bare feet. In time, I was soaked to the skin. I really could have used my umbrella, but the taxi driver took that too. I was in my office, right next to the door, looking under my coat rack, hoping to find a spare shoe or two. Then someone came to the door. Ouch!
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Did I hit your head?
Huh? What?
What are you doing down there?
I was looking for a spare shoe or two. You wouldn't happen to have an extra pair, would you?
No.
You mean those are the only ones you have?
Well, I have a lot at home.
Oh, really? Are you a taxi driver?
A taxi driver? Gee, I must have really hit you hard with that door.
Don't worry about it. As long as I can walk in and out of it, it's fine.
Well, good. I don't believe we've met. I'm Frank Wallace.
John Smith, private eye.
Just the man I'm looking for.
Oh?
Yes. I'd like you to crack a case for me, as they say.
You want me to take a case, huh? Well, that's my job. I don't do it very often, but it's my job.
Well, let me tell you what I want you to do. Last week, I took my German Shepherd to a veterinary clinic to have shots. Here's the address of the clinic, and here's a picture of my dog. Now, my dog somehow disappeared, and I want you to find him.
That doesn't sound too difficult.
Well, this may make it even easier. I have a feeling that the veterinarian is responsible for the dog's disappearance. You see, he told me that my dog died, and, well, I couldn't imagine how a dog could possibly die having shots. The wise guy said my dog got gangrene from the canary that was in the cage next to his.
I see. Did you see any fingerprints?
Any what?
You're not a professional private investigator. You can't jump to all these conclusions. How can you be certain he wasn't telling the truth?
Well, it was obvious. The idiot couldn't have lied his way out of a paper sack. Well, I don't know what really happened to my dog, Mr. Smith, honestly. I can't be sure if anything happened to him. I just want him back, that's all.
I understand. I'll take the case, Mr.
Wallace.
Wallace, and I'll start on it right away.
Good, excellent. I'm so glad. Here's a $20 payment to get you started on the case. Perhaps you could buy a new pair of shoes with it.
Shoes? That's a good idea.
Here's my telephone number also. I'd really like you to call me if you find out anything.
Of course. The rain had subsided, so I felt more comfortable about going outside. Immediately following Mr. Wallace's departure from my office, I took the obvious first step in my investigation. I went to buy a new pair of shoes. I was quite pleased with the ones I finally decided on and thought of how Mr. Wallace might feel about them. I thought of calling him, but I couldn't find the number he gave me. I therefore continued my investigation. As I walked along the street, an unbelievable thing happened. I saw Mr. Wallace's stolen German Shepherd dog.
Don't miss the exciting conclusion to John Smith, Private Eye, in Petty Thieves.
Ooh, what's going to happen in part 2 of Petty Thieves, starring John Smith, Private Eye? Is he going to miraculously solve the case? No. But how badly is he going to bungle it? You'll have to tune in next week to find out, when we'll play part 2 of Petty Thieves. I hope you'll join me. And thank you so much for joining me this week for this special episode of Scott Dikkers Around. In the meantime, I hope you'll check out my new TikTok account. The link is in the description, where I've been taking clips of this show and putting them there. And, it's a new platform, so it gets a little more engagement than some of these older platforms where you might be listening to this. And it's been really fun to see all the really dumb comments that people are making on my stuff. It's fun to respond to them, and it's fun to see how other people respond to them. If you're interested, I encourage you to check that out. And if you like this show, if you like old-time radio drama like I do, feel free to leave a nice comment, leave a nice review on iTunes. I'd appreciate it. It really helps. And I hope I'll see you next week for part 2 of Petty Thieves. Until then, this is Scott Dikkers signing off.